Yo, what it do, brothers? You are now tuned in all that rah-rah with your Hebrew brother Milo Judah. What's good, brothers? So, brothers, I don't know how many of you brothers are into boxing. And when I say into boxing, I don't mean casually, like you just like to see a good fight. I mean, you keep up with these boxers and, you understand what they have going on and you keep up with their camps. And when I say camps, I don't mean their training camps. I mean the entourage. But what I do know is there are a ton of brothers who are into boxing, right? So one thing about it, there was a major fight that occurred on the night of April 20th between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And I'll say this. This fight to me was a mind and heart fight, right? Because my mind told me Devin Haney was going to win, and that's who I chose to win. But my heart told me Ryan Garcia. And I've learned over the years to go ahead and go with my mind rather than my heart. But I had a feeling that Ryan Garcia was going to win this fight. And I was telling brothers that Devin Haney, he has a great jab, but he tends to drop his right hand when he throws his jab, right? And it leaves him open for a hook. And that's the thing that Ryan Garcia is great at, is throwing the left hook. So, And I also knew that Devin Haney was chinny. Look, I'll be honest. I saw Devin Haney as very good, but I didn't see him as great, right? And when he beat Vasily Lomachenko was touching him a lot, especially later on in that fight. Now, as far as him beating Regis Prograis, I felt like Regis Prograis was the perfect fight for him because Regis was going to come forward and he didn't have good footwork. So, there was a lot of openings for Devin Haney. But as far as Ryan Garcia, a lot of people were focusing on Ryan Garcia's lack of fundamentals. But nobody ever brought up Devin Haney's mishaps and his fundamentals. But I did. I told a few brothers that Devin Haney drops his right hand when he throws his jab, and that would leave him susceptible to left hooks, which is Ryan Garcia's money punch, right? But even with that being said, I still chose Devin Haney to win because I felt as if he was going to be able to nullify that left hook and outbox Ryan Garcia, but that was not the case at all. That was not the case whatsoever. That fight got bad and Devin Haney got beat down. The young brother got hurt in the first, 25 to 35 seconds of the first round. He threw a jab, dropped his right hand, and got caught with a hook. Man. And it was bad from there because just watching that fight, it looked like he felt as if, he was embarrassed and he had to go ahead and hurt Ryan back, but he doesn't have the power to hurt Ryan. Shit, he don't have the man ain't got the power to hurt no damn body. But he got baited into a fight rather than a boxing match. And when Ryan hurt him, of course he pressed the gas for a little bit. But then he went ahead and took his foot off the gas and he allowed Devin to come forward for about 3 rounds. Ryan was even using his feet, moving around the ring, which is something that he began to do in that Oscar Duarte fight. The fight that he had right before he fought Devin Haney. But he baited Devin, and boom. Caught him with a left hook, dropped him in the 7th round. I believe he caught him with a left hook and an uppercut, but that fight should have been over in the 7th round. That man's ass was all in the air. That brother was out on his feet. He was falling all over the place, stumbling and bumbling. The referee honestly saved him in the 7th round. And to his credit, he kept getting back up because, he honestly went down about 5 times, and I would say 4 from punches. But even still, Ryan began to move his feet, allowed Devin to come forward, you know, allowed Devin to get some confidence. Devin even caught Ryan with a good left hook in the third round, but it didn't hurt Ryan. Honestly, it looked like it just pissed Ryan off. Ryan slapped his gloves together, and it looked like he said, "Is that all you got?" But, you know, point is, Devin fought Ryan's fight instead of Devin fighting Devin's fight, and it cost him. And, a video went viral of Devin out to eat with his family after, you know, and they were trying to lift his spirits, and they were like, and still. But don't nobody want to be a champion like that, man, where he gets to retain the belt just because Ryan missed weight, right? I mean, at the moment, we got to call Devin a paper champion. And I say this, as bad as April 20th of 2024 was for Devin Haney, he gets to find out who's really in his corner right now, right? Because the bad times, they bring along the true friends. And they also show you who's there when everything is going good. I mean, even the scriptures tell you in Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, when it talks about proving a friend, around verse 8 and verse 10, it tells you that basically some people, they're there for their own occasions. But, on the day that you have trouble, they won't be there for you. In verse 10, it tells you, it says again, you have some who are companions at your table, but they won't continue to rock with you in the day of your affliction. Right? So, Devin Haney, the brother definitely met his day of trouble and his day of affliction when he ran into Ryan Garcia on April 20th. And honestly, I believe, he underestimated Ryan as a boxer. I know that he knew Ryan had a great left hook and that his left hook was very powerful and very fast. But I don't think he thought that he would get caught by it. But he got caught multiple times. He got dropped twice in the 11th round. Right? I mean, it got bad, man. And, you have a lot of Devin Haney fans who say that that fight was a draw. No, sir. I mean, on the cards, it may have been a little closer, but in that ring, that fight was not close at all. Devin was getting beat up, man. He was getting beat up. And I like Devin, right? I like the confidence that he exudes. As far as him being a Muslim, that's his business. What I dislike, though, is that, he's always trying to call out the brother Gervonta Davis when he should be focusing on himself, because he don't have anything for Gervonta Davis. Not right now. And, seeing that fight, honestly seeing them spar, you already know who will win. Like, if them brothers had 8-ounce gloves on and no headgear, that fight would be over pretty fast. Devin would go to sleep, man. And people were trying to say Devin, after he conquers the 140 division, he should go up to 147 pounds and fight Gerard Ennis. Man, Boots will murder that man. And like I said, I like Devin, man. I do like what he stands for. I like the confidence that he exudes. The brother does exude himself to be a young king. And one thing about it, kings, they go through their troubles as well. You can read all through the scriptures. King David had his troubles. King Solomon, all the kings. King Hezekiah, they're all men. And one thing about it, a man will have issues in his life. So, it's just a setback. Now, it's up to him how he's going to respond. And I do know that this is going to weigh on his confidence, because he did call Ryan Garcia a C+ fighter out of his own mouth. So if Ryan is just a C plus fighter, what does that make you? And 3 pounds, it does matter. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, if Ryan Garcia is a C plus fighter and Devin Haney is an A plus fighter, those 3 pounds shouldn't matter in that case. So Devin has to go back to the drawing board, And one thing about it, I believe Devin has to get a new trainer because Bill Haney is not a good trainer. Not in my opinion. I didn't like the fact that he told Devin that he was winning late in that Lomachenko fight because I felt like Devin was gassing out, right? And I felt as if Devin should have kept fighting and letting his hands go a little more later on in that fight because, as I said earlier, Loma was touching him a lot later on in that fight, which in turn, it can sway a lot of people into thinking that Loma won that fight or that that fight was closer than it was, which it was a close fight. But, Devin edged it out. But it wasn't a convincing victory. The Regis Prograis victory was, but, those fights showed you that someone who had some decent footwork and who could touch him could hurt him, like Linares did. But the thing is, Ryan Garcia has one-punch knockout power with that left hook. And he's fast. He's extremely fast. And he's bigger than Devin. He's taller than Devin. Devin is used to being bigger than his opponents. I didn't like the fact that Bill Haney was telling Devin to duck under Ryan's left hook. Right? I mean, that's forcing him to give up his height. So when Devin ducks, he's low-key ducking right into the hook. When Ryan was throwing his 1-2, he kept catching Devin with the 2. Devin would try to duck, and Ryan would just throw it right over the top, hit him right behind his ear, throw his equilibrium off. And he just wasn't getting anything of value when he went back to his corner that would help him make adjustments. And like I stated earlier, Devin is used to being bigger than his opponents. But that wasn't the case with Ryan. Even, the reach, it said Devin had a 72-inch reach and Ryan had a 70-inch reach, but looks like their arms were the same size and length when they were in the ring together. And, of course, Ryan was faster and stronger. So, it was a bad night at the office for the young brother. He would not keep his right hand up when he was throwing jabs. I mean, it got to the point where Ryan was baiting the jab and making Devin bite on it, and then he'll throw a left hook behind it. I mean, he even dropped Devin off one of those. In the clinch, Ryan hit him with a cross, then hit him with a left hook after it, dropped him again. I mean, yeah, man. That fight truly exposed Devin's chin. And the thing about boxing, when your chin gets exposed like that, people are going to come after it. And then the 140-pound division and then the 147-pound division, those cats can punch. And with Devin not being able to punch, he's not going to be able to keep cats off of him. And he's not going to be able to get everybody to the 12th round and just outbox them. He's not Floyd Mayweather. His defense is not like Floyd's. Floyd can be in the pocket with you, looking right at you, and you won't touch him. Shakur Stevenson to an extent as well. He has great defense as well. Devin's defense is not on the level of a Shakur Stevenson, is not on the level of a Tank Davis. Tank completely nullified Ryan Garcia's left hook. And he punished him for continuously throwing that left hook in the second round. The crazy thing is, that fight showed me what I already knew about Devin Haney, is that he didn't have a great chin. He drops his hand a lot with his jab, and he's susceptible to left hooks. And all of that showed up on April 20th of 2024. And what's crazy is I would still say that he's a better boxer than Ryan Garcia, but he's not a better fighter. And sometimes that's what it boils down to. Because even Floyd Mayweather will tell you, some guys, you're going to have to fight. It's not necessarily going to be a boxing match. And Devin, he's not an inside fighter. Even when Ryan was turning his back and Devin was punching him in his side, I mean, that shit looked like it was tickling Ryan Garcia. Ryan turned around, caught him with the right hand. I mean, that fight just got bad, man. It got bad. But even with all that, man, that's all that real and rare analysis for this video. I will be putting together another video about the conversation that Bill Haney had with Floyd Mayweather, because that conversation was of no substance. And the thing is, Floyd was trying to actually lean it toward a conversation of substance, and Bill Haney he kept missing the cue. I mean, if Floyd there's no disrespect to Floyd, but if Floyd is having a conversation with you and he's not even making it all about himself, and he's honestly, speaking for the greater good in the moment, and you can't catch on to that because you're so upset about your son losing his O. I mean, Bill was the one who said that Devin Haney was better than Floyd Mayweather. Bill is the one who continuously talks about Gervonta Tank Davis. Bill is the one who continuously writes checks that Devin Haney has to cash. So, I will be dropping another video about that conversation because I dislike that conversation in the worst way. Specifically coming from Bill Haney, because, he kept talking about the streets. Man, we too old for that stuff, man. Brother, you have a son who is a professional boxer on a worldwide stage, right? The brother is, looked at as a great in his sport. What are you talking about the streets for? Talking about having street niggas. Bro, you talking to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Jr., to be specific. So, yeah, man. That fight got crazy. But, yo,